Hi, everybody. Today, I wanted to talk about the concept of we don't know what we don't know, or we're not aware of what we don't yet know. So, some of you might have heard of the myth of the invisible ship. It's from many years ago, and there's multiple varieties of the myth, but in general, it was something to do with some Native Americans who did not see a ship that was on the horizon. They didn't see it until it came to shore. And my take on that, and I think there's different takes on it, but my take on that is that they had never seen a ship before. So they weren't aware of what one was. So they just didn't notice it. They were not aware of it because they had never experienced it before. And I think of that in terms of the we don't know what we don't know, or we don't know what we are not aware of yet, right? There are many things that we personally have never experienced before, but we don't know what they are because we haven't experienced them before. So this is a phrase I used early on in my journey. I became aware of the phrase and I started to work with it to help me on my journey, because I had read a lot of spiritual texts, heard a lot of spiritual teachers talk about things, and nothing really was changing. And I really, really wanted things to change. So I started to work with the phrase, okay, if these people are saying that we can create our own reality, or we are creating our own reality, and I don't like what I'm creating, then what are they seeing that I'm not seeing? And Abraham Hicks used to say, she probably still does, they probably still do, used to say, you know that time first thing in the morning when you wake up before thoughts take over and it feels really good? Well, I never felt really good first thing in the morning. So what was I doing wrong? I wanted to know what I was doing wrong and I wanted to get it right. So I started to work with this phrase. What are they seeing that I'm not seeing? I started to open my mind to realize that I was not right, I was wrong, and what was it that I needed to change to see things differently. So that was something I used on my journey to keep my mind open. So I want to share some of the things that I now know that I didn't know before, right? I was not aware before the depth of awareness I'm at now. So there are things that I didn't see. So here are some of them. I didn't know that we keep our memories and our emotions stored in our physical body and that we can let them go. I had no idea that that was a thing, that that was even possible until I experienced it. And then I knew. I didn't know, although I'd heard people talk about it, I didn't know that my mind could become quiet because it was so busy. It was always judging and criticizing and talking to me inside my mind, inside my head. And I didn't know what it felt like to have a quiet mind until I experienced it. I was unaware of it to begin with. I had to experience it to actually know that there was truth in it. I had no idea that we could put our awareness inside our physical body. And I have a feeling most people don't know that because I've not heard it talked about. I certainly had no idea it was a possibility, but now I can do it. I certainly know that it is, right? So that's what I want people to know, mostly because we are so powerful, right? So I can put my awareness inside my body, inside the connective tissue, inside the bones, hold my awareness there, release the tension. I feel it, I hear it. It's changing my bone structure, my skull structure. And that is something I had no idea was possible before. I didn't know that things happen for a reason. And the reason is that we're bringing up stored emotions, stored tension, stored energy from our past, from our early days to be released. And as some things get darker and darker, right? We're seeing some pretty dark things happening in the world. That is to bring up the deeper emotions that we stored inside of us to feel and let go of that energy. I didn't know that before, but I know that now. I didn't really know what peace felt like. Right? I've heard talk of it. My mind being very busy didn't allow me to understand what peace felt like. And some other people use, as they're on this journey, they start to use the phrases, I think I'm bored. I feel like I'm bored. Or I will be okay with neutrality. But could boredom also be called peace? Could neutrality also be called peace, right? Being a place where you're flowing with life, where you don't mind what happens, you're okay with what happens, you're imperturbable. In my mind, in my experience now, that is peace. But until we experience it, we don't really realize that. We're not aware of it. I also now know that we inhabit our bodies. We are not our bodies. Now, I'd heard that concept before, right? So I was aware of the concept, but I had no idea how to actually feel into that, how to understand it, how to know it. Now I know it because I can see inside of myself from one place to another place. So I can't be my body, because if I was my body, I wouldn't be able to see from one place to another inside my body. So now I know that we inhabit our bodies. We are souls inhabiting a body. And that was something I did not know before. So those are a few of the things. So now your awareness has expanded. Now you have those concepts. You probably didn't know some of them before. You weren't aware of them before. Now you are. Now you know some things that you didn't know before. And now that you have that awareness, you too can aim for those things. You can aim to expand your awareness. You can aim to put your awareness inside your body. You can aim for inner peace, because it is possible. You're now aware of it. So now you can know it. So good luck with that.
Well, I can definitely know that when I have a feeling, it settles in my body. I can feel it, whether it be I'm tense and my stomach's tense. Right now, I'm having problems with my ovaries. I can so feel it. And I never knew that I could go inside and not only feel it on the outer, but go in and comfort it.
Right. So like 5 years ago, you didn't know that that was possible.
Not at all.
But now you do. So that was something you didn't know that you didn't know. And now you're aware of it. So now you
Yeah,
can use it.
it's so nice to love and let your pain be okay and accept it. It's like the edges of a roughness, and then you accept it, and it smooths out and it relaxes because you're giving it some attention of, hey, it's okay.
Right. Now you've got that deep awareness. Now you've developed that deep awareness. But 5 years ago, if this pain was showing up, but you did not have this depth of awareness, it might have shown up in other ways, right? You might have only been aware of this feeling of anxiety, or, these words might have come to your mind of just feeling out of sorts. But now you have that deeper level of awareness. Now you know what you didn't know before, so you can go deeper with it than you ever could before.
Totally agree. Because I can even feel it shifting, not to totally leave, but to shift into a softer form.
Yes. Now, to get there, you had to open your mind to understanding that that was possible. I don't think we knew each other 5 years ago, but maybe if I had talked to you 5 years ago and told you that this was possible, you might have just ignored it because it wasn't something that you knew anything about. So it didn't seem possible. But you've opened your mind to the possibility and therefore have been able to attain that level of awareness.
Yeah. And I think, I'm not sure, when we did the chimes, you can't see me. When we did the chimes, I'm chiming. And I could feel that in my body, not just in my ears. I think I realized, oh, I have feelings inside. I can feel them, hear them, and they are affecting me. That made me want to go deeper. If I could hear that noise, what else could I hear, feel?
Right. So you already had an open mind. So that's great. There's a lot of people out there who do not have that open mind. I know I didn't to begin with, right? I had to develop it. And I used that phrase, we don't know what we don't know. I used it on an ongoing basis to open my mind, to realize that other people know things that I don't. And what is it they know that I don't know? So we're now sharing with other people that this is a possibility and that they can open their minds to this possibility, and then they can work to attain this level of awareness as well.
Correct. And what an awareness. It's beautiful.
And powerful.
Oh, very powerful. Just last night in my lower stomach, I was holding tenseness in there, and just to focus and go inside, it softened and it was like, ah.
And you had the power to do that yourself.
Yes. Yes. Well, thanks to Ann Hintz.
I just helped you open your mind.
Yes, you have helped me open my mind to a lot of things.
Good. Good. So what was the word that you talked about yesterday?
Reconsider.
Right. So the word reconsider is somewhat along these lines, right? To open your mind and reconsider something with more information or with different points of view or different perspectives.
Yes. Yes. And when she said that word, I didn't take it for what she was talking about. I took it for me to reconsider, even being in somebody else's shoes. Reconsider. It's not just my thoughts that are out here in this world. There's thousands of thoughts floating around. And when you can reconsider what somebody says, your mind opens.
Yes. To pick up the other thoughts, to pick up, their perspective, their point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Opening your mind, like he talks about in The Matrix. Morpheus talks about opening your mind to Neo. And that's what this is all about.
It is. And every day I learn something new about myself, even if it's in like being in the moment, or if somebody says something to me and it's like, are you in their shoes or are you judging? So I see where the depth has come in so many different ways. Just starting out with emotional freedom technique, EFT, just starting that and learning. And I'm still learning. I don't have all the coping mechanisms for it, as you know, but just to, okay, stop, be in the moment. What are you feeling? Not concentrate on it, but hold it. I think that's what I want to say. Hold it and reconsider it.
Yeah, rather than getting caught up in it.
Exactly. Because getting caught up in it just makes everything, that roughness that I was talking about, it just makes everything rough and gritty. Where if you reconsider and open, it softens.
It does. Yeah, that's great. That's a great place to end, I think. So thanks you everybody for joining us today. Hopefully your mind has been opened and you will use that phrase with yourself. Just ask yourself, what is it they know that I don't know? And just allow that to open your mind. So thanks. Yes. Thanks for joining me, Claudia.
Thank you, Anne, for everything you do for me to help me open my mind to more.
You're very welcome. Okay, bye everybody. Please feel free to join any week. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.